I've owned the SaniBest Pro macerator toilet for a little over 5 years now, and it has jammed up 3 times in those 5 years. But I'm happy to say I was able to unclear the jam all 3 times, and it's still working great. The first time what happened, it just cycled at night. It turned on. Sometimes if you have a small little leak, or it'll just turn on, and it jammed up in the middle of the night. And I could hear the kind of the buzzing. It woke me up in the middle of the night. I got up, and what I did is I unplugged it like that, and I left it overnight. And apparently what happened is whatever was caught in there, toilet paper, that's all I put in here, is toilet paper. I don't put any paper towels or anything. I guess it got soggy enough in the morning when I went to plug it back in, it turned right on. Jam cleared. All right, so I felt very fortunate on that one. The second time, it did the same, very similar thing. It cycled at night and it jammed up. But this time, it actually overheated, and then it shut off. There must be like there's a breaker or something inside the pump, and it shut off. So in the morning, I went to feel it, and it was still hot. The whole unit was hot. I could tell it wasn't on, still plugged in. So what I did is I unplugged it, left it for several hours, went back, plugged it back in, and it still didn't work. All right, now I'm getting a little concerned. So then I had this idea, and it had cooled off too. So I'm like, what if I just plug it in, unplug it, plug it in, unplug it, and just keep doing that. And every time I did it, I could hear the motor, kind of trying to turn. And then right around 9 or 10 times, I plugged it back in, and I could hear it grinding, and everything, all my problems went down the drain. Anyhow, so that was number 2. So I think that's actually a very viable one. You just keep doing that plug, unplug. The third time, I wasn't so lucky. None of those things worked. So I actually had to pull out the toilet, the whole macerator pump, and open it up and clear the jam. And ironically, what it ended up being is just toilet paper stuck in the blade. I still don't know how two pieces of toilet paper can jam up like, I don't know, what is that, 3/4 horse or a half horsepower motor, electric motor. But it did. But I will show you. I will actually take it apart in just a moment. You can see exactly how I did that. Before pulling out the toilet or disconnecting the macerator pump, a critical component, a step, is to shut the water off. There's the valve right there. You just twist it like that, and that prevents the toilet from refilling up. Because in a little bit, we're going to be pumping all the water out of the toilet, bathtub, and sink, and you do not want it to fill up again. All right. Before you start taking apart the SaniBest Pro to remove it, to unclear the jam, be aware that if it's been clogged up for a little bit, and your bathtub's backed up, and your toilet is full of water, much higher than it's supposed to be, and maybe even your sink is backed up, right, because it all goes to the same place. When you pull apart those hoses right there, water and sewage is going to pour all over your floor in mass quantities. So I went to Harbor Freight, bought this pump for roughly $12. Get yourself your Home Depot bucket, and what you're going to do is you're going to pump all that out. Now you could bucket it out first if you wanted to, and then when you get lower down, use the hose. Anyhow, so you're going to pump it out and dump it outside, or dump it down. If you have a regular toilet, dump it down the sewer line. You want to minimize the amount of water flowing onto your floor. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I'm starting out with the toilet. You can see I've got it set up. Here's the exit hose into the Home Depot bucket. And I've got it push down into the toilet. I'm just going to go ahead and start popping. Let's see. Alright, here we go. We're going to start popping some of this liquid out. There it goes. You can do as much as possible. We're going to empty the toilet. Now obviously there might be some solids in there. You're just going to avoid those. Leave those. It's the liquid that's going to flow out. The more you get out, the better. Just keep pumping. It's going pretty good, actually. And then once we're done with this, we'll head on over to the bathtub. Alright, we're almost finished. You can see what's left in the toilet there. Almost got it all out. Just keep going for a couple more moments here. So I can get this. Here we go. Alright. And just about, oops, I don't know. There we go. It's amazing how much liquid is held in there. Almost fill the whole bucket up. And then we'll head on over to the bathtub, which you can see is full of water. So what I did here is I used a large paper clip or whatever, these clamps, to attach the hose onto the bucket. And I shoved the hose down the drain as far as I could. And then I'm going to attempt to go ahead and start removing some of that water. Let's see what happens here. There it goes. It's working well. Alright, just keep doing this. Shouldn't take long, actually. Just get all the water out of the bathtub so nothing or minimal amount goes onto the floor. Oops. Oop. Okay, go a little further. I have to pump it quite so hard. Do a little lighter, it doesn't fly out like that. It works quite well. Hey, $12 Harbor Freight. Pretty darn good deal. That's actually almost done. The bathtub's almost there. Goes. You hear it. Suction just broke. And it's, there we go. Got it out. All right. It's a wrap there. Excellent. And then you can also do the sink as well. Just I don't have any in there, but if it's just gray water from your sink or your bathtub, you can go ahead and dump it. There. Obviously, if it's from your toilet, you want to dump it down the sewer. I want to show you how easy this comes off. Ready? I unscrewed everything and just slide it open like that. Just, you know what? There's not that much water came out. Yeah, I'll wipe whatever's there. Yeah, that's disconnected. Let's go over here. Oh, I didn't screw all that. So one of the secrets to get this off is you slide this hose clamp all the way away, and then you can just literally just squeeze this thing. And, oh gosh, there's water. I can see it already. Oh gosh, look at the towel. There's water. And just squeeze it. And oh gosh, pull it out. Woo! More water than I thought. Okay. It's flowing everywhere. Shit. I guess yeah, you just have to deal with the water. So in order to get to that hose under there, because you can't reach the screw, you have to first, so you can see it, you need to remove the clamp that goes to the toilet, and then you can separate those two. So Once the toilet is removed from the macerator pump, then you can access in there. We're going to open up the SaniBest Pro macerator pump to show you how to clear a jam. The main thing you'll need is a screwdriver. Alright, so you'll note on the sides there are these little tabs, one on each side. The main one, let's see, one side has a screw over here, this side doesn't. You don't have to touch the screw at all. But I found that by prying up this side seems to work the best. Okay, like that. And then literally just pull really hard on it, like that. There we go. There we go. And let me just say, this is definitely an outdoor job because it stinks pretty damn bad. Okay, now right now what I'm doing, I'm grabbing this tab, pulling up. Let's see, I'm just gonna keep pulling. Ooh, it's pretty off. There we go. All right, let's just try not to splatter stuff. Now something to keep in mind here, this black seal. Whew, that smells bad. You need to, when you put it back together, you need to put this seal, press it down onto the housing first, and then push the lid on, otherwise it will not fit properly. Anyhow, for now, I'm take that off, and I'm just gonna set this over here for a moment. Let's check to make sure the camera's lined up properly. Okay, there we go. So you can see what's inside of it. Alright, I'm going to be positioned here. Alright, now, this right here is the actual macerator pump right here. You're going to lift this up. It's not even screwed in or anything, just slides right out. Oh God, don't. If you drop it, you'll splash disgusting water. As you know, it's not just water all over. But at the bottom there, it's already spilling a little bit. Let me just show you. See right there? That is the macerator. It's obviously unplugged. That is the macerator. That's the blade, like a garbage disposal. That's what spins. Now, one time I could not believe it. All there was there was toilet paper on this side and this side. This is the thing that spins. And there's a piece of toilet paper stuck on either side. I have no idea how toilet paper can stop what was like a 3rd horsepower motor. Anyhow, all I did is pull them out and I plugged this cord back in and it's spun fine. I put it all back together. It was simple as that. Now you may have a piece of metal or something caught. What I would do also, if you really have a bad jam, you have to take this whole thing, dump it outside somewhere, and clean it all outside. Make sure there's no pieces of metal, hair clips, bobby pins, safety pins, kids' toys, anything like that in there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put it back together now. Okay. All right, let's put it back down. Now, there's some little, you can tell if it goes down properly. There's these little rubber pieces. Okay, there we go. Slid in. You just kind of adjust a little bit. And then, again, this rubber seal, you need to put it down. You need to put it on the housing first. Otherwise, the lid will not go down. All right? So let's just go ahead and do that. As I'm doing this, I'm thinking it would probably be advisable to wear rubber gloves. That would be a really good idea to do, because you know what's in that water. That's not just mud. All right. Almost there. I have to say though, I've had this for, it's been 5 years. I've had it jammed 3 times in 5 years, and it's always just been a little piece of paper. Twice I used the other system where just plugged it in and unplugged it several times. Once I just left it overnight, and once the first time I actually opened it up, I probably didn't need to do it because it was just toilet paper, but I kind of wanted to know how it worked. Okay, so you see the seal, it's all sealed, and then you're just going to make sure this goes in that hole, and this piece goes there, which it kind of just naturally does. Let's see here. Okay. And then if you do it right, that thing will just, see that snap? Pop right in, over here. Okay. That's snapped also. Let's wipe some of this water up. Let's spill that. You can see you can see that. I put plastic around there, thankfully, because there's a whole mess of muddy water ready to come out. Okay. Oops. All right, so it's back on, and it is ready. It's ready to be reinstalled. All right. We're going to go ahead and reinstall the macerator pump and the toilet. So here comes the macerator pump. All right. There we go. See, this side faces the toilet. You just slide it in just like that. Just check to make sure it's all lined up. All right. This goes to the toilet. So it's basically just this, that over there, this, and then we're going to put the vent back. Slide that back in. Push that in just like that. In. Put that on a second. Okay. This goes over a little bit. Alright, well, you can see what needs to be done there. Alright. Cord out of here. And we're just going to slide that piece over. Simple. Tighten that screw, and then over here, this is all one hand, so I think just think about that. Okay. All right. Well, actually, a little bit more. All right. Now you can see what I need to do. I need 2 hands to do this, but quite simple. And I'm just going to go ahead and get those pipes and fittings all snug, and then I'll show you how to connect the toilet.